So, welcome back to another video that nobody ever asked for. Honestly, this video should have been up a long back ago, probably before this even start of 2024. Anyway, over the years I have gotten into this crazy obsession of watching bullet journal YouTubers and spending an unhealthy amount of time watching those plan with me videos and time lapse. So my motivation honestly towards journaling comes from the fact that when I turn 50, I want to be able to look back at my younger self, have a hearty laugh about all the mistakes that I have probably made, because honestly I make a lot of them, and just keep questioning what was I thinking. Anyway, inspired by those bullet journal YouTubers, I have tried many different formats of journaling over the years. I have tried the store bought ones, which, because they're catering to a larger audience, they have an unnecessary amount of information to fill every day, which could get overwhelming very quick. I've also tried the other extreme of it, like I brought completely blank journals and I was mostly using them for filling out my to-do list or my gratitude points every day. But the thing even with that was it was way too boring for me to find any kind of motivation in the morning to just come and fill it. So for this year, I have decided to find a middle ground, and I have decided to make a journal that is ugly and functional. Yes, as bizarre as it may sound, but for this year, I'm very clear with what I want from my journal. So for my bullet journal, I actually went through quite a lot of options and wasted a shit ton of money before finally settling down for this black dotted journal from Amazon. It has very tiny dots, which is super convenient because I don't want them to be too distracting, which I only realized after already spending too much money on other options. For the other stationaries, I'm using this brush pen set, which honestly I think I should have gone for a different option because I'm not very comfortable using these. Then obviously I'm going to need my lead pencil because I'm inevitably going to make a lot of mistakes, some colored pens and a ballpoint pen, and some washi tape to mark any important pages. Yeah, that's about it. So finally, let's open the journal. Honestly, at this point I was super nervous because I knew there was no going back from here. If I make any mistake, it's going to be permanent and it's going to stay for another year with me. So I think the one thing that stayed consistent no matter what format of journal I have used is to always start with the reflections of the past year page. Over the years, I have come to a realization that as a person, I tend to get too caught up in the humdrums of life and in the overall concept of what next that I simply do not appreciate my achievements enough. And once one set of goals are done, I just simply jump to the next set without celebrating the ones already achieved. So I think this is a nice way to retrospect about all those achievements and be just thankful about the moments and the people that have made me the person that I am today. The format I have chosen for this has remained pretty much a constant over the years. I try to primarily answer these four questions. What were my major accomplishments the past year? What are the things that I learned that I wish to carry forward in the next year? And what are the things that I want to discard before the coming year? Also, what are the things or the people that I'm grateful for? Honestly, I'm not much of an affirmation kind of girl, and I cannot say I'm beautiful, I will be successful, though I believe in the power of manifestation. But instead of doing all that, I feel this has helped me more. Now, coming to the part that I was actually dreading the most, I showed this to one of my friends, and the question she asked me was, why are you doing this? Why can't you just buy a calendar? There was no way I was going to sit and explain to her that this is the entire concept of bullet journaling. But honestly, after making a gazillion mistakes and after about half an hour of just mindlessly writing numbers, I would have given anything to just get a stick on calendar or something and just get done with this process. I think initially I was either way too confident or I was way too underestimating how much tedious and time taking this whole process of writing down numbers will be. So after a point, my brain stopped working and I had to take the help of my phone. And believe what? Even with that, I made a mistake and ended up putting 32 days in April, which I had to strike down obviously. Then I went ahead and marked all the important dates or holidays in the calendar. I still have to fill quite a lot of them. So now let's come to one of the most important pages in this entire journal, the one that I will be constantly looking for the rest of the year. And this is my goals wala page. I divide my goals into these four different categories: personal, career, financial, and travel. In any other year, I would have easily put more than 10 goals in every category and somehow miraculously wish that I will be able to fulfill all these goals. But this year, the most important goal above all these goals is to not overburden myself. I know it is important to achieve goals, but not in the way that it harms me. So I made sure that I do not put more than 5 goals in every category. Okay, I'm very excited about the next page also because under the scenes, I'm a big personal finance nerd. I love everything about finances, from budgeting, tracking my expenses, my savings, etc. etc. Hell, my first ever YouTube video was on personal finance, so what more needs to be said, right? Oh, yeah, although I maintain a separate spreadsheet to track all my daily finances, I thought it would be nice to just be able to see all my spending and earning patterns in an entire year. So, this is what this graph is for. Also, I have a couple of long term financial goals, and the major one is to go debt free and reach financial stability by the age of 35. Also, you can see the setup that I'm using today to record this video. It's not the best, but I'm making it work to the best I can. Since I'm now a self-proclaimed YouTuber, I thought it is necessary to have this page where I can just note down all my video ideas and plan it for the next year. But knowing the person I am, I had to write it down in pencil because I knew I will be making a lot of changes in this. Now that we are finally done with the yearly pages, the next is to go for the monthly pages. Let's start with the worst possible handwriting of January you will ever see in a bullet journal video on YouTube. I actually started making the whole calendar box first in pencil because I knew I would be making mistakes. But guess what? I ended up making a mistake anyway. As you can see, the first box is slightly smaller than the other boxes. At this point, I realized that it cannot be undone, so I just continued anyway. And now that I am making this voiceover, I also realized that I have forgot to write down the days of the calendar, which I'll be doing later. Yeah, I'm also writing down the goals for this year, which is just a subsection of my yearly goals, so that I remember to take a little step forward to achieving my yearly goals every month. The next is my habit tracker. Now I don't want to overburden myself again this year, so I'm trying to keep only 2 habits per month. And the first ones that I want to try for the first month of the year is to exercise daily, which is wishful thinking, and also waking up before 7. I think it will be easier for me to go to bed at 7 than to wake up at 7. We will see how it goes. Okay, the next one is my mood and sleep tracker. Now, with the little amount of sleep I'm getting, my mood is obviously all over the place, which is why I didn't realize that I should have taken an entire page for tracking my mood. And I ended up making this very bad looking whatever graph it is. And then I went on to write down with pen and realizing that now nothing can be done, and I will just change it the next month. I'm using the blue color for my mood and the yellow color for my sleep to see if there is any correlation between the two. The next is my meal tracker. So after a lot of deliberation, I finally decided to get a cook because with YouTube, my masters and my work, I was actually not getting any time to cook proper meals, and I was skipping a lot of meal, which was directly or indirectly affecting my health. So now that I finally have a cook, it's become even more important to plan out my meals ahead so that I have the required groceries that I can ask her to make with. So yeah, I just keep a weekly page for lunch and groceries. Hoping that I get more time to cook in this new month, I wanted to keep a separate section for a list of new recipes that I definitely want to try. So now coming to the next page, I want to give a very simple layout for my weekly pages. So I start ahead with writing down all the days from Monday through Sunday. Now, yeah, my week starts on Monday because Sunday is obviously a weekend. That's why it comes at the end of the week. Anyway, I'm trying to change this year by not keeping all my tasks in one single list and feel guilty at the end of the day for not being able to complete all the tasks. So I'm separating them into two categories, top task and other task, based on their priorities, and making sure that I do not put more than 5 tasks under top task priority list. Since I do not have many appointments and my Google Calendar already keeps track of all my appointments, I didn't want to dedicate an entire section of 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. all for my appointments, because let's be honest, I don't even stay awake for that many hours. So I just kept a very small section of appointments under every day, which I think is just enough. So my end of the month is marked by an entire page that is left to write down all my feelings or thoughts that are in my head at the end of the month. It is just to retrospect of the past month and also to come back at it later one day and find out what I was feeling at this point in time. Then I flip to the end of the journal to write all the other stuffs that I want. For example, this wardrobe essential list, so that I don't end up doing any impulsive shopping in the year, and to just stick to this list. And also some random ideas page, so that whenever I have an idea or a thought, I can just come back at it. So, yeah, here is my ugly, not so aesthetic looking journal. But trust me, this is the journal that has worked best for me, and I'm telling it after trying a lot of different journals over the years. So, if you found this ugly journal inspiring, then do let me know in the comments section. And if you also try it out, don't forget to let me know. Till then, thank you and bye bye.